Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the Temu Spyderco Nirvana I found on Temu, obviously, about a month ago. I didn't know what it was when I was first looking at the knife. I thought it was just a generic looking knife, maybe a Chinese type knife. There was actually no markings whatsoever on the knife. There was no Spyderco branding, no billboarding. It was just a plain knife in the photo, so they probably photoshopped all this stuff off. And I don't know if this is actually true to the original knife or not, because this knife's no longer made, apparently. So when I got it, it obviously did not come the way it would normally have come, probably from Spyderco, but it did come in a fake Spyderco box, the infamous Spyderco box you get in all the Spydercos that you get off the Chinese site. So again, be careful with these guys. They're not real if they're misspelled, and they have this darker band across here. There's a lot of dead giveaways to find out if it's a real knife or not. But again, like I said, there was actually no branding on the website for this. It was literally just photos, and it wasn't portraying itself as a Spyderco. There was nothing on there about it whatsoever. It did say, I believe, 9CR was the steel, so I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just a weird fancy knockoff of something, not a particular brand, but come to find out when I got the knife, did some research, and finally found it's a Spyderco Nirvana clone, copy, replica, whatever you want to call it. So the original actually apparently has a frame lock. This is a liner lock on this one, so it's not going to be obviously the same. The original, which I'll throw some photos up here in just a minute of the original, there's a frame lock here and there's no liners in it. Where this obviously has liners. The original knife came in a titanium scale or titanium scales, and the blade was a 3 3/4 inch CPM S90V stainless steel. So a very nice steel to have on a blade. This, I'm assuming, is what they said it was, probably 9CR is probably the steel. I do love the look of this knife and love the feel of it. It actually is built really well. It came pretty sharp. We'll do a sharpen test here in just a second to see if it's good to cut paper or not. But it came centered. It feels good in the hand. It looks really nice, and I liked it so much I got one for a friend because it's just not made anymore. I think if you could find these, you're probably going to be north of $400 would be my guess, if you could even find one for sale. I don't know the original price. I didn't find that anywhere. I would guess probably well over $300 originally. And it looks like the designer was Peter Rosenti, if I'm saying that correctly. And this Spyderco originally was made in Taiwan, so they actually do have that branding, it looks like, correct right here with Taiwan. But again, I don't know if these symbols are actually accurate or not. So it kind of has a stone wash finish. I don't know if that's true to the original. It kind of looked like it was in the photos. And again, go ahead now and check out those photos. I'll put them up on the screen. So there's some of the photos there. And this knife, again, it's just fantastic. It's just got such a nice action. It just drops shut. And it actually came that way. So I don't know. It's got to be on ball bearings, I'm assuming. I have not taken it apart. So it's just a wonderfully gorgeous knife. I wish they still made this, or Spyderco would make a version, if they could, make it again. I think a lot of people like this style knife. Maybe it wasn't popular. I don't know. I don't remember the knife. So, but you know, if you like the knife and want to check it out, you definitely want to go to probably Temu and see. I think these have come down in price. Now they're down to probably $15 to $18 if vendors still have them. And again, they may or may not be labeled Spyderco. So let's get to the specs and the weight and all that fun stuff. So the specs have it originally at 5 inches closed. So let's take a look and see if we're at 5 inches closed. And it looks like we're pretty darn close. Maybe a fraction shorter. And the open length was 8 3/4 inch in length, is what it says on the web. So we are darn near there, pretty darn close. Maybe, yeah, right there at 8 3/4. So I think it's pretty close. Blade length, they said, was going to be 3 3/4. that's pretty much where it's at. So it's going to be a good replica in that sense, at least the style, the weight. We'll check in just a second, but I think the overall shape of the blade appears to be pretty realistic. The only thing being not realistic would be frame lock to liner lock. This, of course, being a liner lock. Now inside there on the liner, it's well done, but it's not milled out. That could be causing some extra weight when we measure this in comparison to the reel. So let's grab the scale and let's take a look. Okay, sure she's zeroed out, and let's put her on here. So 5 1/4 basically ounces. The original is supposed to weigh 4.8 ounces, but it's also titanium. I'm going to guess this knife here is probably aluminum scale. It's pretty light for the all metal construction, and it's not magnetic. It's magnetic where it's supposed to be. Obviously, the blade, the pocket clip, but it's not a steel frame on this. So I don't know, again, if anybody has one of these, comment below. If you do, does this look like the real thing, except for the frame versus liner lock? I mean, it looks a lot like the pictures, but it's just so hard to tell. I have not taken this knife apart, like I said. Action's really good. I think this pivot screw might be a little bit loose. Might need to be tightened, but the lockup is really good on it. It's pretty true. And I just love the design and look of this knife. So, like I said, I wish it's a knife that Spyderco still made. Maybe they'll make it again. Let me know if you guys like this knife. It's a unique looking knife. Would you pick one up? Would you like to have one in your collection? Would you like Spyderco to make the knife again? So hopefully people will comment and give us an idea of what they have like. Here's a last shot of it here. You can see some nice photos of it. And I'll put some more pictures up again just to do that comparison for you so you can see. And hopefully somebody can tell us if this actually looks like the real thing or not. But if you like it, maybe we can write Spyderco and say, please make this knife again. Don't want your Chinese competitors over there steal your stuff and then sell it as a real thing when it's not. May make your own again. Maybe they can't make it. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it was helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and please consider subscribing to the channel. And I appreciate you guys watching. So thanks, and we'll see you soon.